o'clock, Welsh families call for more help caring with sufferers of Huntington's disease.
It's our burden. We've been told we have to move by health and safety, but we will have no financial help towards this.
A body's recovered in a Swansea river, and who's making a comeback on the X Factor? I'm Amy Garner. Today we've been hearing from two Welsh families whose lives have been devastated by a rare genetic disorder. They claim not enough's being done to support sufferers and their carers.
It's such a nasty illness. You need support. It's not like going to the GP, just can I have a blood test to see if I got diabetes?
Huntington's disease attacks the central nervous system, slowly paralysing the sufferer's ability to talk, walk and think before eventually killing them. Real Radio's Emma Thomas has this report, which begins with Linda Hinckley, a grandmother from Swansea.
It was frustrating because I'd gone on the internet and I'd read about his symptoms, and the double whammy was that John had been diagnosed, so it was staring us in the face, really.
Linda's grandson Cameron was just 13 when he died after suffering with juvenile Huntington's disease. His father John and grandfather had both had the illness, but Cameron's condition was so severe he'd often have up to 200 fits a day. But despite this, doctors initially refused to test him for the disease, instead insisting he had autism and epilepsy. Linda thinks public perception of the illness often complicates the diagnosis.
With other illnesses, you get your appointment, you get your diagnosis and you get your treatment. And with Huntington's, it's quite a stigma to it and a bit taboo. So, the awareness that can be raised can only help all families.
Another woman whose life has been transformed by Huntington's is Jennifer Evans from Pontypool. She began a support group for families who care for their relatives after she noticed a gap in the NHS support system when her husband discovered he had the disease.
Because at the time Richard was diagnosed, there was plenty of help of people for Richard, but there was nothing there for myself. And I thought, well, other carers that are in the same position, we've got no medical knowledge, but it's just a bit of awareness and telling people, well, we went through this and this is what we done.
Jennifer has professional carers help her for just 1 hour a day. She relies upon neighbours and her family to do her shopping, and often she can't leave the house for days because Richard needs 24-hour care.
Being a carer is very lonely, because if Richard falls to sleep, he may fall to sleep 7:30 at night, and I'm there on my own. It's a very lonely life, and I think, oh gosh.
But to make life even harder for Jennifer, she's now struggling with the news that she'll be forced to move house or lose the little care support she does get because health and safety officials have said her home's not suitable for ambulances in an emergency.
It's our burden. We've been told we have to move by health and safety, but we will have no financial help towards this. It's been a very stressful time, and I believe Richard is very stressed out with this.
Each evening, Jennifer shows Richard photographs and postcards from the holidays they've enjoyed together in the hope that he can still remember life before Huntington's took hold.
The changes in Richard has been phenomenal, really. From a man that was quite fit, that used to cycle to work or jog, to somebody that is... He's still my husband, he's still the same man I fell in love with and married, but the difference is now he's continually in bed or in his chair.
Emma Thomas reporting there for Real Radio. A spokesperson for the Assembly Government has told us the Minister for Health and Social Services has agreed to the recommendations of a recent report on long-term neurological conditions. You can listen to Jennifer's full interview at realradio.co.uk.